In 2004, when Jackson Browne was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Bruce Springsteen gave his induction speech. After talking about the fact for a certain period of time that Jackson was the heartthrob for women all over America and all over the world, he turned to his longtime friend's music of social justice. He said that Jackson Browne is one of the few true activist musicians he has ever known, that his music is the most searching, yearning, loving music made for and about America. Bruce Springsteen's words. 13 years later, and actually a week ago, Joan Baez, one of the architects of social conscious music, of resistance music, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the person that was selected to give her induction speech was Jackson Browne. And that's not a surprise. As Springsteen had said those 13 years ago, Jackson has long put his mouth, his money, and his body where his politics are. Lives in the Balance, one of his wonderful social conscience songs and one of my favorites, sounds more urgent today than it ever did. That's what Bruce Springsteen had said back then. I want to repeat it right now. Lives in the Balance sounds more urgent today than it ever did. Healthcare. Today, there are lives in the balance. So, Jackson's achievements are legendary. Song after song which reach beyond the heart and into the soul. Lyrics which teach us, then challenge us, then inspire us. When Rolling Stone magazine listed the top 500 albums of all time, 3 of them were Jackson's albums. Even in the movies, Runnin' on Empty was in Forrest Gump. Late for the Sky was in Taxi Driver. And then, of course, She's Gotta Be Somebody's Baby. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But it always comes back to his social conscience. Nora and I first met Jackson when we were asked to hold a fundraiser at our home for a South LA arts program with Jackson at the helm. I mean, for me, it was a dream come true. In years gone by, before I knew Jackson, I would be driving, listening to his music on the radio and asking myself, how does this guy know so much about me? His words would reach into my soul. And I'll bet you every one of you has had that experience in listening to Jackson's incredible, intelligent lyrics. Because the reason it was touching me and has touched all of you is that his music strikes a universal chord in the human consciousness for all of us. So, it seems that Jackson had been giving of his time, his treasure, his efforts, and his talent to these schools in South Central LA for years. Not for a photo op or for some kind of return, but because it was the right thing to do. Many of you, or some of you, have been to our home for events over the years. For those of you that were there that night, you will know that our house has never rocked the way it did that night. And I came in here tonight and saw the piano and all the guitars up here, and I went, the Beverly Wilshire has never rocked the way it's going to rock tonight. Jackson was told that he would be receiving this award probably 8, 9, 10 months ago. A couple of months ago, Nora and I spoke with him on a Friday night, and we gingerly asked him whether he wanted to play a couple of songs tonight. And let me tell you what his response was. I'm going to paraphrase it, but what he said was, you know, we're in very challenging times right now, and if my playing some music that night will help the cause, I'm there. I heard that on the other end of the line, and I just thought to myself, vintage Jackson Browne. Jackson has played over 1,000 benefits in his career. He walks the walk. Jackson, I can sort of see you there. This light is kind of blinding. You're used to that, I'm not. Through your music, you speak truth to power. Through your music, your brilliance has touched more lives in more positive ways than you will ever know. You've reached all of us, and you've led us, and you've sustained us through difficult times, and you're doing it right now tonight. You are the coalescing of talent, social conscience, and the willingness to use those things to benefit your fellow man. You have found that mysterious place where the heart, the soul, and music come together. So we've prepared a little video tonight. Nora worked on this very hard along with the people at Consumer Watchdog, trying to put together a 3-minute video about Jackson's accomplishments on any subject is like trying to drink water from a fire hose. But like a fine wine, it only takes a sip to know how good it is. Can you roll the video, please?